What is going on, Chaotix? I am Chaos, and we are back with another team builder for the PDL. This is the team builder for the semifinals of the PDL Season 3, where we will take on the Rhode Island Raticates. Now, you guys may still be wondering about the match last week. We had some issues with that. I announced all this stuff and made it clear that we had a forfeit last week. We couldn't get a battle in, and Ender just decided to forfeit the match. So we'll take a 6-0 victory, putting us at 8-2 for the final of the season. And we did clinch first place in the regular season, so we'll take that. And also that gives us a first place in the final. So we're playing the 4th seed, which right now is the Rhode Island Raticates, and they're sitting about, I think it's a 4. Let's check their number. It's 4 and 5. So they're sitting at 4 and 5. We're sitting at 8-2. A lot of fun stuff going on, and we're getting ready for the semifinals. Now this is the squad that will be our squad for the rest of the season. I cannot do any more trades, so what we have right now is what our team is going to be. And that team is Garchomp, Mega Gyarados, Jirachi, Alolan Ninetales, Alolan Muck, Lucario, Shaman, Mismagius, Incineroar, Medicham, Regirock, Hitmonchan, and of course, Fire Z is our Z Crystal. So we are really ready to go. I'm ready to get some W's. I want to get some wins. I want to win this season. You know me. The goal in the past, as I said, to get to this point was we focus on good team builder. We focus on winning every match. And we focus on 6-0 wins. Those were the 3 things. And then we eventually focus on playoffs and all that stuff. But every single week, these 2 weeks, the finals and the semifinals, if we win this match, because these are single elimination matches, we have to win this week or else we are done for the season. And so we need to do a very good job and win this week. And so I'll go over what he has and we'll look at the team. So his team is still Volcarona, Mega Venusaur, Fortress, Thundurus, Comfey, Araquanid, Umbreon, Hitmontop, Rhydon, Toxicroak, Slurpuff, Alolan Persian, and of course Bugging MZ. It's your boy Gizmo. And he hasn't done any trading, so props to him. But we will play him week 1. I guess it's semifinals technically. We'll play him in the semifinals of the PDL Season 3. So he's got some pretty good powerhouses, as you can see. Mega Venusaur, 13 kills is nothing to scoff at. Having a 3.25 kill death ratio is very solid. But I'm looking at the rest of his squad, not many things have good kill death ratios. Some things are sitting at solid 1s, like Volcarona, Thundurus, Comfey. Those things are sitting at 1s, and Slurpuff, obviously the 1 week brother against me. But other than that, his team hasn't been putting out a lot of outputs. A lot of his team has died more times than it's done damage to. I don't recall how close, like looking at his matches, he's won very few of his matches with good gusto. But he does have 2 really good 5-0 wins, one against the Derby Dawn Fans week 7, and one against the Scarlet Strikers in week 11. So he's off a really good win last week. So hopefully we can get this win. It's bugging me. I want to win. I just want to win the series. But let's get into my team and what we're going to be doing. So this is this PDL Season 3 semis team, and we are bringing Ali. Now this is the exact same set that I brought last time we played in week 8. And Hitmonchan is running Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, Choice Band, and Iron Fist is its ability, running max attack, almost max attacks, 224, max defense, and a little bit of HP bulk. Now this is going to be primarily my counter to Araquanid, which is what it served as last week. I know Araquanid's a really good Pokemon and really good powerhouse to take on my squad. So, especially if he throws like a Splash Plate or something on this thing. But Hitmonchan can power back. It's faster if he doesn't have any speed investment. And even if he does have speed investment, we live 2 shots. We should live 2 shots. So, Hitmonchan is going to be a good way to stop his Sticky Webs, because Sticky Webs is a pain in my butt, and I want them not on the field. If I can get rid of Sticky Webs, if I get rid of the Araquanid, I think it'll be good. But I don't know if he actually brings it this week, since we kind of thwarted it last week with the same set. So we'll see what he decides to do for today. What he decides to bring and what he decides to do. So this set is going to be able to beat, of course, Impish Nature, boosting defense over special attack. And it's going to be able to beat Volcarona with Stealth Rocks, of course, Fortress, maybe. It goes toe-to-toe. I mean, I think we win with a Drain Punch, but it's not something I really want to do. We do stop Araquanid, Umbreon, maybe even Hitmonchan. Of course, his best move to hit me with. Why is everything wanting to load right now? Like, seriously, stop loading. Thank you. But his best move to deal with me with Hitmontop is to close combat me, and that's going to lower his defense, so that means Drain Punch is going to do more damage, and we're going to get more HP back from the hits we deal with him. Rhydon is next. We also can take it on. Rhydon's a really powerful mon, and I'm surprised he hasn't brought it a lot. So, maybe we see that this week, maybe he decides to bring it, but we do have ways to deal with it, and I did prep for it. Then Toxicroak and also a level 1 Persian goes down to this. Next up is Jackie, and again, fun fact, exact same set. Exact same set as the week before. He's going to think I brought the exact same team. The only thing I really changed out was Muck for Ninetales, so most of these Pokemon are the same team. There are a few differences, and they're really big to point out. But Medicham is running Rock Slide, Zen Headbutt, Drain Punch, Poison Jab, and Assault Vest, making it live the special attacking hits. It also has max attack, enough speed so that if it Rock Slides something, it is faster than everything, and also a little bit of the special defense just so it can tank some shots and do some damage. Jackie can beat Volcarona, Mega Venusaur, Thundurus, maybe Comfey. It's a weird calc with a Poison Jab. One of the big things I changed on this set is Poison Jab for Fire Punch. I didn't think the Battle versus Fortress was as necessary, and I thought the Fairy coverage, because I assumed the Fairy type would come, the Fairy coverage would be more beneficial for me, because it'd be a safe switch in for him to throw a Fairy type in. But now that I have Poison Jab on this set, it's not the safest switch in, which means Medicham can do some damage on a good prediction and a good switch in. And even if we do hit it with something, we should have enough damage on it that Poison Jab will kill. So that's a lot of the reason why I run it. We can also beat Comfey with Poison Jab. Araquanid, if it's under 70%, because Rock Slide does not do that much to it, fun fact, but it will one-shot us most likely. So if it takes some damage, it would be nice. But I'm assuming if we're hoping to get Stealth Rocks up, and if we get Stealth Rocks up, he's going to come in at 75, which means it's a close calc for us to get that to work in our favor. Umbreon also can be defeated by this thing, as well as Hitmontop, maybe even Rhydon, Toxicroak, maybe Slurpuff, and also a level 1 Persian. Again, the Fairy types come down to getting the right prediction on the switch and hitting off a Poison Jab before they get any attack off. And next up is our Mega Gyarados. Gertrude. You gotta bet I brought Gertrude. And I actually calc this thing in here really early in the team builder. I usually wait till the end and be like, okay, what do I want to bring? Do I want to bring anything really over Mega Gyarados? But no, Mega Gyarados is a central part of this team and not something that I'm just going to use as a setup sweeper like I usually do. Of course, it does have Dragon Dance for setup, Ice Fang as well, Dragon Tail, and Waterfall. Of course, Mold Breaker is its ability. It's going to have Intimidate if it's regular Gyarados, so I'm going to make sure that's there. I'm going to make it Intimidate, because it will be Intimidate Gyarados. It does have Mold Breaker when it evolves. But as for moves, Dragon Dance, Ice Fang, Dragon Tail, and Waterfall. Again, Stab for Waterfall. Ice Fang is nice. It helps him deal with his flying type. Most importantly, Thundurus. And also we have Dragon Tail for pretty much everything else. Waterfall's going to be my main move this week. It's going to do a lot of damage. I didn't think Crunch was necessary, and I brought Dragon Tail for some really nice plays to deal with some things that are going to cause me problems, like maybe that Mega Venusaur. And as for the breakdown, this is a really odd set, and I don't know where I came up with it, but I'm really glad I did because it looks really awesome. So it is a different Gyarados set than typically I run. We're running 176 speed, so it gets you 242. If I would get a Dragon Dance up, I outspeed everything with I believe it's a 363 speed stat. And also max special defense, so we can take some shots, and then we have an Adamant Nature boosting the attack that's at 80, which is just over 400 base, which is going to be very powerful, especially if I get one boost. So Gyarados is going to be putting in some work. Of course, the weird thing about this calc is Gyarados, regular Gyarados, isn't very good. It only beats Volcarona, Comfey, Hitmontop, and Rhydon in its regular form, but it can set up on all four of those as a regular Gyarados. Where this thing really shines this week is having the Water Dark typing in Mega Gyarados and the added buffs. So, Mega Gyarados can beat Volcarona, Mega Venusaur at +2, Fortress, Thundurus at +1, Comfey at +1 and half of its health, or at +2. Araquanid, Umbreon maybe, it comes down to a calc and of course Foul Play if he brings that. Hitmontop, again, close combat is very powerful, and if it's any bit offensive, he probably decks me if I don't hit him first and take him out. Rhydon as well, Toxapex at +1, Slurpuff at +0 or +1 with half its health, so that way it can tank a shot and then hit it twice, or it can be at +2 and defeat it, as well as Persian. So that is most of his team. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That is all 12 of his Mons defeats. So Gyarados is really putting in the work this week, and if I get it +2, I wreck. If I get it +1, I'm probably pretty set to go fully. But the main play this week with Gyarados is I've calced it so it can live a shot from Thundurus. And the main switch in for Gyarados is Thundurus here. Now even if he's Choice Scarf, even if he's Choice Specs Max Special Attack, that's the only way he can beat me. And it comes down to a calc at that point. I think it's about a 42% in his favor that it will KO. Something like that. It's really, really small. He has to be choice specs and like a modest nature or a mild nature, so that way it boosts the special attack. And if he doesn't have that, I get one free Dragon Dance up. I am sitting at about 70 or 80%. I've taken about 70 or 80%, so I'm sitting about 20 or 30, probably about 25% of my HP, and I just get to go ham with a +1 Gyarados. So that's the play. I'm hoping I can get that in. If I can get him to shoot me with something, with the Thundurus, or if I can just get set up before I battle the Thundurus, that is it. And Gyarados just has to set up and win. And so I guess I should go over what Gyarados can set up on. As I mentioned, with regular Gyarados, it can set up on Volcarona, Comfey, Hitmontop, and Rhydon. Mega Gyarados expands that a little bit more, so it's Volcarona, Fortress, Thundurus, if the calc is correct, Comfey, Araquanid, Rhydon, and Alolan Persian. So Gyarados is going to have a few things to set up onto, and also he has to set up on the free switch. He has to set up on the switch. So if something is really bad against it, so let's say Rhydon's in versus me, I can set up one Dragon Dance on that switch, and then I just wreck. So for him, it's really dealing with this Gyarados this week. It's going to be his massive issue. And I know Gyarados is something I've usually brought before, and it's a pain in everybody's butt, but, you know, it's a really good mon, and I'm really happy I picked it up. Next up is Maximus, running the exact same set as Week 8. Yeah, I was looking at the team builder, and I really didn't see any need for changes. We did a 4-0 win that week, and most of them were me playing bad. So Jirachi actually put in some really nice work the first week, so I definitely bring this set back again. It's got Stealth Rock, Psychic, Moonblast, and Thunderbolt. Now I did try to change Thunderbolt out for like Hidden Power Rock or something like that, but you know, Thunderbolt does more, and Thunderbolt is better because it helps me deal with the Araquanid a little bit better, and Psychic does more damage than Thunderbolt or a Hidden Power Rock would do on a Thundurus. So I kept it that way. And then of course we got Moonblast to deal with, like if we can live a shot from a Alolan Persian or Umbreon or something like that. It does some damage. And of course the main thing for this week is to tank some shots, be offensively pressuring, and also to get those Stealth Rocks up. Stealth Rocks is the big thing for Jirachi this week, and that's why I want it to be a very good, powerful Pokemon that can take some shots. And that's why I built it more specially. 252 special, 252 special attack, modest nature so it gets some power, and also a little bit of HP. And with this set, again, Jirachi can help me deal with Mega Venusaur, Fortress, Thundurus, maybe, it comes down to a calc, Comfey, Araquanid, it comes down to a calc again, Hitmontop, Toxapex, Toxicroak, Slurpuff, and maybe even a Alolan Persian. I think all those Pokemon that I mentioned that were maybes have to be damaged in some way, shape, or form. So if they take Stealth Rocks damage or something like that, then we are pretty solid to deal with them. I do not have to worry about it. Of course, we saw the bulky Hitmontop last week. I think it was Assault Vest, so that could be something we see again. And I think Maximus does deal with it decently, as we saw last week, but it can be a pain in the butt and something I do not want to see or come across. The major change this week is Slime, or Alolan Muck coming. I really feel like I can't use this Pokemon very well, and I wanted to bring it this week. I had no idea what to bring. I wanted something defensive, and so Muck was my answer for this week. So we're running max HP, max defense, and a little bit of attack. And fun fact, the attack stat, having that little bit of boost doesn't actually matter. I could have this thing probably a negative nature and still do a crap ton of damage. So Slime is a really good mon with offensive power. with that 105 base stat and attack and HP. It's a pretty solid Pokemon. And I got Stone Edge, Poison Jab, Pain Slip, and Power Up Punch with Black Sludge to give me HP regen, and also Poison Touch to deal poison damage to those things that want to hit me. So like, if I have to fight a Rhydon with this thing, I can do a crap ton of damage to it, and also get it poisoned hopefully, and then it will die. So the Poison Touch doesn't really matter that much. The abilities for this thing is not the best, but you know, you can use them correctly, and this week just the ability was not the best thing for Slime. It was more the defensive prowess for me that I need Slime to do some work. So Slime can beat Volcarona, maybe Mega Venusaur. That's a fun play. I'll talk about that in a minute. Maybe Fortress, maybe Thundurus, Comfey, maybe Araquanid, maybe Umbreon, maybe Hitmontop, also Slurpuff, and Alolan Persian. So the fun fact about Muck here is it really doesn't do well against anything on the squad, besides like Volcarona and things like that that it has a really good move for, like Stone Edge. But the Poison Jab is the other move I brought in Power Up Punch. And why am I even running Power Up Punch on this thing? Well, Muck really can't deal with anything without getting boosted somehow. And I wanted to use a boosting move. I thought about it so much, and you know, I couldn't come up with one I really liked. So I thought Power Up Punch was a very solid option. It gives me coverage for those dark types, so I can deal with Umbreon and Alolan Persian. But I also brought Pain Split to help me get my HP back, along with Black Sludge. So this thing actually is really built to deal with the Venusaur if it comes down to it. Venusaur has a 5-hit KO with, if it does Leech Seed, and then it does Sludge Bomb, it takes 5 turns to take me out. But the thing is, I can just sit here and Pain Split up, and also Power Up Punch up, so I have a way to, I think if I get +6, I can 2-shot it. So hopefully that doesn't come to that, but you know, I have ways to deal with some of these things. And I just thought it was a good set this week, so hopefully it works out for me. Of course, Muck is more a defensive mon this week, and I know it's more a defensive mon, but you know, I like to see it get some kills. And you know, we don't measure the Pokemon's defensive usage in the stats, which always kind of sucks, but we only measure how many kills it gets and how many times it dies. So a defensive Pokemon may get no kills for the season, but may win you matches. And you know, that's really what they're there for. So Slime is going to be my defensive mon this week, and I know that Alolan Muck is more of a defensive mon, and you know, it's about time I start running it as defensive mon, not offensive. I mean, you can run it offensive, but you know, I'd rather run it defensive this week. And last but not least, it is your girl Death Wish, a female Garchomp, holding that choice scarf with the exact same set as the week before. So you know, I didn't change much. The only thing I really changed was Gyarados' moves and stat distribution, and adding Slime instead of Alolan Ninetales. You know, I really like the Hypnosis tech from last week with Alolan Ninetales, but I just didn't think it would, like, I'm pretty sure he would be like, okay, he's gonna use the Hypnosis tech again, which it actually worked really well. It worked the one time I needed it to work, and you know, it was pretty cool. It was something to threaten his team, but you know, I wanted to do this little fun stuff this week. So we are bringing Garchomp, our Death Wish, with Stone Edge, Earthquake, Poison Jab, and Stealth Rock. Again, if Jirachi happens to go down and I want to use Stealth Rocks and I don't need Garchomp, I can come in and hit Stealth Rock. That's why Choice Scarf Stealth Rock is there. Also, it gives me a way to always get rocks on the field, because I will outspeed everything in the game because I have enough speed to do that, with 8 in the EV, making it 242, which gives me a 363 speed stat, unless his Alolan Persian, Thundurus, Volcarona, or Toxapex is Scarf, something that's faster than me, we aren't going to be worried about it. But Persian sits at 361, and so we calculate the next one up, which is 363, because you can't hit 362 with stats, which is fun. But anyways, Garchomp can beat Volcarona, Mega Venusaur, Thundurus, Araquanid, Rhydon, maybe. Again, it comes down to the calc, and of course that thing with Eviolite is just tanky. Toxic, Croak, Slurpuff, and a Alolan Persian, maybe. Of course, Alolan Persian is the pain in my butt this week. But, you know, I do have some ways to get around it. I have the Choice Scarf here to help me deal with it a little bit. I also have Gyarados setting up to deal with it. And Maximus does a pretty good job at tanking it as well. And Slime is also there to help it do some stuff. Because it's gonna try to use taunt on me, and you know that's not a problem. I can just get my attack boosted. So it's gonna be a very fun week to see these teams, and I think we got a good squad. I think we got a nice W coming our way. Again, the rules for the plan this week for me is we focused on Team Builder. I focused really hard on getting this Team Builder to work correctly. Now I got to focus on winning the match, and I don't care about 6-0s. I don't care about next week. I want to get the W. That's what we're shooting for, because I can't go on to next week if I don't have the W. So we're shooting for the dubs. That's our next goal. We did a really good Team Builder. I like the squad. As I tweeted out, I really like this squad. I think it looks really solid, and I think it'll work really well. And I think I made a pretty good solid team last time I battled him, so just changing a few things up here and there made this team really solid, and will change depending on what he decides to bring. Because I think this week I could see the Araquanid not coming, which I think is a bad idea, because it's one of the best mons he has to deal with my squad. But I also could see him bringing a level 1 Persian to try to weaken down me with, like, especially the partying shot stuff. So I could see a lot of switching coming in and out of this game. And that's primarily why I want to get rocks up, because I could see the switchings coming. And then also it does 25% to Thunderous, 50 to Volcarona, 25 to Araquanid, and also 25 to something else that I'm blanking on right now, I think. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I can't remember. But it does, otherwise it does 12%. So, chip damage is nice, and there's a little bit of rocks damage do go a long way for me to do some things that I need to do. So, honestly, one of the big things is Jackie being able to use Poison Jab. So if I get any move off and they get rocks damage as well, I probably can deal with the next mon that they bring in, as long as it doesn't outspeed me, which really only the top 4 things in this team do, which is Thunderous at 353, Volcarona at 328 max, Persian at 361 max, and Tuxpex at 295 max. So, you know, it depends on what he brings, and hopefully it's a good match. Hopefully we get a W. If not, then you won't see me next week for some videos, but if we do, you will see me next week for another match, and hopefully everything goes well and we can get this W and win this match. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you do leave a like, and also subscribe for more content from me. There will be probably a Season 4 coming up next year as well, so make sure you check that out. And I do have a list of really cool names for my team for next season, if you want to go to my Discord server and vote on that. So it's a lot of fun, and if you're not on Discord already, you really should just be there. But that is where I'm going to wrap it up today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy, and until next time, my name is ChaosMay006, and I am signing off. Stay safe and burn it up.